Hello guys, how you doing today? This is Abi and Leslie. Just to introduce ourselves, my name is Abi Ababu. I'm an elite powerlifter with the USPA. My best total to date is 1577 with a 562 pound squat, 413 pound bench press, and a 600 pound deadlift. And this is Leslie. He'll tell you a little bit more about himself.
My name's Leslie. I'm a men's physique athlete. I actually did my first show a couple of weeks ago where I won first in novice and open. So I'm working on getting my pro card soon.
And today we're bringing you guys a new series about weight manipulation, which is just how to gain weight, how to lose weight, how we do it. We're going to go into depth over the next few videos about different strategies that we've used to, bulk up, which is what people usually say when they're referring to gaining weight, and cut down or diet down, which is what people usually say when they're talking about losing weight. But when we say weight, we specifically mean, losing fat. And do you have anything else you wanted to speak of? Just like how people usually go above that, like what kind of, just like very general, like what people can usually do to get into bulking and cutting.
It's important to remember that a big aspect of cutting or bulking is nutrition. So it's important to be able to know what you're ingesting in terms of energy, and you need to know how much your body needs. So it's important to calculate your basal metabolic rate, which is just a sum of all the cellular functions in your body. And it's also important to calculate your total daily energy expenditure, which is the cellular functions, it's your activities of daily living, and it is the thermic effect of food. So essentially when you are bulking, you are eating more than your maintenance calories, and if you're cutting, you gotta eat a little less. So that's the pretty much general overview of it.
And just calories in general, the way where we get, I'm sure we've heard calories for a long time. Where we get calories is actually from these different things called macronutrients. The three macronutrients that we ingest are proteins, carbs, and fats.
Guys, I'm kind of a science geek, so I'm going to break it down for you. We have proteins, we have your fats, and we have your carbs. Your proteins, you are literally a giant ball of protein. Your organs are protein. Your blood, you have enzymes that are made of protein. You are just made of protein. Your muscles, you need protein. Your body literally ingests the protein that you eat and uses it, breaks it down to amino acids, and you use it to repair any muscles and any tissues. We store it as amino acids. Your body there are about 9 essential amino acids, so you actually have to ingest those 9 to get them into your system. And then the rest are non-essential. We make them on our own. Fats. Fats are important. They help in the production of steroid hormones and other hormones. They help in the production of your cellular membrane. They help in the production of vitamin D. You need fats. They're important. A lot of people think that, fats are the devil when you're cutting, which is true to an extent because you still need the fats to live. And then there are carbohydrates. Carbs are the holy grail of gains. It's literally the central metabolism. It's how you get energy. Your body stores them as glucose. And then as polysaccharides, it stores them as glycogen in your muscles and your liver. So you need carbs, guys. You will die if you do not have enough carbs. Your body will start to use other forms, and when those run out, you will die. So eat your carbs, people. I know that's not a problem.
So in terms of like a mindset, with me being a powerlifter, with Leslie being a bodybuilder, the ways that we approach bulking and cutting they're similar in terms of the effects that we do go through, but it's different in terms of our goals. Like we might have different stuff that'll stop us out as we're going through the process. Like for me personally, when I'm bulking, it's usually when I'm trying to put on strength. So maybe if I'm far out from a meet, if I have a good off season or something like that, or if I'm not really very close to like a very big meet where I'm planning on going down a weight class, I'll probably go on a nice little bulk. And I'll try to. I've gone crazy with it in the past. I've tried to sort of limit it as I've gotten older and gone through a couple bulk cycles. And the whole point of me bulking is just because I'll have more energy, so I'll be able to train harder. I'll be able to train longer. I'll be able to I'll be able to handle more volume in my training. And when I'm going into cutting, it's usually because I'm trying to get down to a weight class, or I'm trying to be more competitive, or sometimes honestly if I just feel like I got too fat and it's not comfortable, and maybe I don't feel like I have as much endurance or something like that, I might cut down a little bit of weight, just to get my positioning better, to feel better, to recover better. But once again, like if I see that my strength is starting to suffer because I'm cutting too quickly or something like that, I'll stop it immediately. And that's not going to be the same for everybody watching this video. That's just because my number one goal is strength, to hold that as much as possible, as opposed to like if you were a bodybuilder like Leslie, it would be a little bit different on what your approach is to cutting and bulking.
So as a bodybuilder, I am actually trying to look good. So I'm doing it for muscle size. I'm doing it for the aesthetics. I want my physique to be the best when I step on stage. So when I'm bulking, I'm just trying to build those solid blocks of muscle all over my body. And then when I'm cutting, I'm trying to get rid of all the fat, because when you do build muscle, you are going to gain some fat. And I'm just trying to shed that fat so that I can see all my cuts and all those new muscles that I've gained. So it's really for me just switching off between periods of hypertrophy training and strength training. In the off season, I'm mostly bulking because I'm just not preparing for anything. When it's time to get ready for a show, that's when it's time to let go of that skin and show everything that I've been working hard for. So those are the differences between powerlifting and bodybuilding in terms of cutting and bulking.
Yeah. But the funny thing is, even though we both focus on different aspects of what we're trying to achieve, with me getting stronger, training at higher volume, increasing my volume and stuff like that, as I'm bulking, I will be putting on muscle. Just like by him trying to put on muscle, his strength will go up. Obviously, we'll have different rates of each because of what we're targeting. But don't think that just because you're doing one, you have to completely neglect the other. Obviously, we're on two ends of a spectrum right now, but you can literally do both at the same time. They work together. It's like a synergistic effect. So when I'm going into a cutting cycle, my goal, even though I'm not thinking about it, is to hold on to as much muscle as possible, and that's specifically because I don't want to lose my strength. By holding on to the muscle is what's making me strong. So if I'm cutting too hard to the point where I'm losing muscle, I'll notice it in my strength, and that's when I'll stop it. So they're like I said before, they do work together. If you look at top level bodybuilders, they're usually pretty strong. And if you're looking at top level powerlifters, they usually have a lot of muscle on them. And this goes for all sports: Olympic lifting, powerlifting, strongman, bodybuilding. I mean, even if you look at CrossFitters and stuff like that, after a while you will see some type of overlap. It's just a matter of what you're focusing on to get there.
I thought you weren't going to show any love to the CrossFitters. But in terms of cutting and different techniques that you can use to cut, we have carb cycling, which I'll go over in a later video. There's intermittent fasting, which I'll go over in a later video. There's peak week stuff that's important to understand and be able to manipulate to get your best physique when it's stage time, which we'll go over in later videos. All of these techniques, they're unique depending on what your body type is or which one you prefer. Some people rely heavily on one than others. Some people use a compilation of all of them. It just depends on you, really.
Yep, so guys, that's going to be the end of this video. Obviously, this is an intro. We just wanted to give you a little taste of what we're actually going to be bringing in the rest of the series. If you like the content, if you have any other questions, make sure to subscribe if you like the content, and make sure to leave a comment down below. about any questions that you'd like to have answered, you can also follow us on our social media accounts. We'll post them right here for you guys and also in the description. Just so that you guys can, we're making these videos because we want to help out. We've gained a little bit of knowledge over the few years that we've been in fitness and learning and studying about it. So we just wanted to share that with you guys. So we want to help you as much as we can. So just ask us any questions that we have. We'll do our best to answer them to our knowledge. We really appreciate all the support. You guys have been great. You guys have really been helping us with all the videos that we've been putting out and just all our content all over. So we thank you for that.
Alright. It's lit.